Okay, that was accidental. I accidentally hit the X button on the tab. I feel so bad. I always try to let that play to the end. I'm eating cereal right now because I'm hungry. If you don't like the sound of somebody crunching in your ears, I'm sorry. I'm hungry. Oh, I feel so bad doing that. I feel so bad. Rev isn't in the call yet, so hello. It's just me. The Ivara. Who's likely going to change again soon. Still keeping the Ivara, just changing the appearance. Hoping everybody's having a good day. Or evening, afternoon, wherever. Just don't mind me, I'm drawing in the background. Ah, no, Control Z. Nope. There we go. Hello, broski. Gods, I feel so bad. I hate it when I do that. Like, I need to reopen the tab. So, also, mostly because I need to mute YouTube. There we go. Wait, no, don't do that. Reopen the tab again. Oh, thank goodness, it's finally muted. Oh boy. Well, have fun with football, broski. And good luck. Everybody in my Discord knows that we're live. I'm gonna... I actually closed the music. Mute the site. Yeah. Hi, Rev. Well. It's weird. It's like I have a really creepy Henson puppet just sitting in the corner with the name Rev over his head.
Hello? Am I there?
Hi.
Finally! I don't know what happened. My mic was like, nope, you're not talking. I'm not gonna have you speak.
Denied.
And what's this about being a freaking Henson puppet? What?
You're a Henson puppet sometimes.
How am I a Henson?
I don't know. You just are.
Oh, I see. So I have a hand up my ass somewhere that's just controlling my movements.
Or through your spine.
Okay. The next thing next thing I know, I turn to the left slightly. My horn just comes off.
There goes your ear. Everybody starts screaming. I love that video.
For those of you who don't know, we saw the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance bloopers, and we lost we lost it.
Yeah.
It's just how it's so like funny and stupid. I think my absolute favorite was the whole "Play for your emperor." The camera just zooms into the instrument. No one's there.
Oh, they buggered off. Typical musicians union.
Exactly. That made me laugh.
I love it. I'm sad that like the full version got taken down, and like we get the shorter one that has some muted parts.
Yeah, but at least we got the picture.
Haha, morbid.
Man. Oh, and welcome Broski again, like always. Glad to have you.
What I love about the Henson bloopers is that they still retain character, so you still feel like it is an actual creature that is goofing, but it's not. I love it. Like I like it when we see the Skeksis start singing beautifully.
Yeah. I'm trying to like I have the video open. It's oh god, yeah, it's the ornamentalist. Ritualist. He's sitting there just saying, "Making love was just for fun."
Yeah. And then it comes to like the Gelfling singing, and all he's thinking about is how freaky her giant eyes are.
Yes. Oh, what I love about him singing that bit is that he actually closes the eyes and everything. Oh no. Yeah, what was it that the puppeteer said? Wide-eyed fears. Bit. Bugly eyes, that's it.
We're dream sharing, shut up.
And your ears, Dawn's got them too forward. It still gets me to laugh. Again, they're so expressive. But it's also weird because they're not that expressive in the show, but they are expressive in the bloopers more so. It's like, why? Where's that energy? Wait for your emperor.
I wonder what like the movies bloopers were.
Oh, I'm sure it was more. What is it? I'm sure it was similar.
To just how weird it is.
No. Yeah, sorry, someone's texting me. Sorry about that. Hey, no. I'm just picturing it's more on the silly side, you know? Just very technical, but also very funny. Oh, man. But no, actually, another point I should mention, my mother's husband, he actually got to go to the set of the Dark Crystal, the Age of Resistance. And I got to see, he showed some of the puppets. They're actually not that big. Not even the, what is it? Oh god, what's the word? The Skeksis puppet. It's not that tall, like maybe 5 feet on the dot. Like you have to hunch down just slightly, not like all the way, but just a bit.
I wouldn't have to do that.
Of course not. You're short.
I am 5'1".
Oh man, it's still funny to see it. Like just seeing how big these puppets really are into it.
Mm.
It still makes me laugh. And again, like I said, the fact that these things are not even like they're for something, even. Which again, I still find funny. I was hoping that during the blooper someone would say, below there's a hand, help. Or something stupid like that. It's so stupid.
I'm gonna keep eating my cereal over here.
Right.
I like when they were like surrounding that crew member going, drain him!
Yeah.
Drain him!
Look at it, like, ah!
Also, when the other guy passes through, they just suddenly start screaming.
Yeah, he's just screaming at him for no reason, and he's kind of like, okay, then. It's like he's not well. It's like it's guys, and they're just making fun of him, like, but yeah, still, that was fun and quite enjoyable. Maybe I'll show the photos later on tonight if the camera transfer thing on my phone.
Yeah.
I hate technology sometimes. It can be such a right pain in the ass. So yeah, that's that. We don't have much again this time around, mostly because of the topics we're going to be covering today are like on the long side, so get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for that. But yeah. So again, it's kind of a slow week. There is actually a bit of rage from the duty. Excuse me. Zombie.
You cut out a little bit, so all we heard was duty.
No.
We're in our 20s.
Fuck. Fuck. It's all downhill from here.
Especially for me, my boobs are gonna sag someday. Not the boobs. Again, we can't go through a single episode without talking about
without
talking about boobs or something.
Exactly.
Why?
It's always gonna happen because boobs are one.
Yeah.
As is all. Again, there are a few. What's the word? There are few. Truths in the world.
Oh yeah,
Boobs
this episode is literally the Nintendo 64.
Yes. And we didn't put a 64 on it.
We didn't say Nintendo 64 on the title, you mean. But now we have, so haha, fuck you. But yeah, boobs are great. They make the world go boing.
But yes, so no, what I was saying was there's a bit of rage with the Call of Duty zombies community.
Yeah, Dark was getting really pissy about it.
Well, so as everyone knows, the zombie storyline has been going for like what, almost 10 years, like something crazy like that, 12 or something years, right? Since 2008, I want to say.
Give or take, yeah.
And this has been a story that's oh no.
It's quoted now.
Yeah. Oh, what have we done?
Well, I'm not wrong.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Oh, jeez, but yes. So, what I was saying was, so this has been a story going for a while, and the big climax was supposed to be this most recent one. I think it's like Nacht der Toten or something like that. And It was a disappointment of the biggest quality.
I can only imagine.
Well, you know how everyone got so explosively angry when Game of Thrones the last season happened, and it
Yep.
was terrible?
Yep.
Same thing.
Mm.
It's. I sat there. I've not followed this story for a while. You know, I like to poke in and be like, "Oh, multiverse. Okay, cool." And walk away, right?
Yeah.
And then I pop in for this one. I'm like, "Okay, so what's the big ending? What's the big payoff for this story that's been going on for such a long time?" Oh, everyone died. That's it.
Wow.
I'm not even joking. Like everybody is poisoned by one character. He then destroys the multiverse. He kills someone else who's a zombie now, and then gets the girl who was like the source of all evil at one point to shoot him, and then him and then her and this kid walk through the light, and that's it.
What the fuck?
Exactly, and then they make it like this big thing of, oh, it was always gonna be this because we are the paradox and blah 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 blah. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so someone in the writer's room just said, fuck it, I don't give a shit. Farted this out in like under an hour and submitted it to print. That's basically what it was. And then it just like, and then the big thing was like everyone wanted to have a big climactic battle. It was like the players versus this giant squid army at the end of the world, and there was like this huge hype about this great final war, blah 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 blah, etc etc etc. And then they reference it when everyone's dying, as Nikolai saying, "We fought in the Great War, but no one cared to see it." And then immediately I could hear the rage of 1,000 people just saying, "We wanted to fucking see it, you hacks." It was just, oof.
They also had like a, didn't they? Is this the one that had the Punisher as like the celebrity guest in the game?
I have no idea.
I know that one of the newer games has him.
I can't, I honestly couldn't tell you. I just know that everyone's pissed. Again, to the point where the previous ending, the Revelations one, the one that people were like, okay, this was fun, but we're not super satisfied, but it's okay kind of ending.
Yeah.
They're like, that was better than this. You know you fucked up when people are going back to the original ending. Like, nah, I like this better.
Nope, I'll just take this hot steaming pile of garbage over this nicer garbage.
No, I'll go to this garbage that's in the nicer garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
And like I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach somewhere that it's like they wanted to end it with Revelations as this cyclical thing, end it there, and be done with it. But then the fans got up in arms like, no, we don't like it because there has to be another ending. Oh, you know, it's the it's when fans can't stop adding on to something and they let their own desires kind of influence the creators in the wrong way.
Yeah, they kind of push him.
Exactly. It was the pushy kind of thing that kind of I'm willing to bet it forced them to jump in, do this, and create this other ending, and in the end it's like, no, everyone died. Screw you.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can hear, like I said, I can already feel the rage from the fans. In fact, I'm just gonna YouTube search this real quick, just to see how many people have like started sending angry rants out. I want to see what happens.
I can already hear the army of mothers who are annoyed with their screaming toddler over this.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, they're already. It's already getting flooded with like reactions, spoiler warnings, alternate. And I'm just saying, they're like, oh Jesus Christ, it's already begun. It's already fucking begun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's gonna. Yeah. Man. See, this is why I stopped caring about the zombie storylines, because it's like.
I never cared.
Well, they're never gonna. People have fun with it, but when you try to make it something overly convoluted, like they've been doing for years, you're just gonna lose people. And that's what kind of happened here.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing. They've tried to capture the feel of the zombies experience with like spin-off after spin-off, and it's just never worked. You know, there's only ever gonna be the zombies experience. You can recreate it, but you'll never capture it.
I think I've already told my brother's story about the fried chicken.
Yes, you did.
I love that story.
Yes. But you know what? Let's keep the rage going. Let's get into our first topic. You see, segue. Yeah, better with
Hey, segues are
that.
awful.
Segways. Immediately takes my clever wordplay and just says segways are terrible.
They are not fun to drive.
The only way I can see someone making a Segway fun is if you have, if you have one in front of you and then you use like a desk chair and sit in it. And
That would
just
make
one
it
of the-
so much better.
Well, I know that Rooster Teeth did that and it worked surprisingly well. So if you want like a car basically without having a license, go for that. Let's see if it works. It'd be like a little scooter. But yeah, so speaking of which, let's get into our favorite whipping boy like always, and that is Fallout 76.
Yay! Band.
I'm just kind of picturing this now. Like I say whipping boy, and I'm just picturing like like some fucking gimp in the basement with like just Fallout 76 pasted on the head. Something so messed up.
Again, we can't go a single episode without talking about porn.
I brought this up. It's all
Yeah.
on
Yep, your fault.
me. But yeah, so as everyone knows, when Fallout 76 came out, they had the $200 Power Armor Edition. And
Oh boy.
well, we all remember the fiasco that is. Please look to my desk at the right side, and you'll see part of that fiasco.
I made sure when I made that picture, which unfortunately I don't think I'll ever be able to make properly again, I made sure to turn it slightly so you could only barely see the shame.
Yes, that's the point. But what wound up happening was that during the $200 thing, you had the canvas bag mess up, which has been colloquially named the Duffel Kerfuffle. I don't know why we called it that, but we did, and we liked it. Well, it seems the hits won't stop coming for poor Fallout 7. It turns out the helmet is being
It's being recalled. You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, sorry, I'm loading the article to read off of. Am I fine now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to pick a random image here. Here we go. We'll go with this. So in this image here, I am sending her. That was the there's the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
The T-51. I think it is a T-51 helmet. Oh god, I'm sorry, I'm itchy. I'm loading the article over here on my right side. Give me a moment. Yes, so this is from PC Gamer as well. So, like I said, just Google it, you'll find it. And it goes with the following. Fallout 76 collectible helmets are being recalled due to mold risk.
What?
Yes. So it goes like this. Fuck off, PC Gamer. Sorry, it just played a video. 1 2 1 2. Just so I'm sure I'm not cutting out again.
You're fine. You're fine. I'll let you know.
If you recently purchased the T-51B collector helmet, most recently seen in Fallout 76, You are currently wearing it. I can't imagine why you wouldn't be. You might want to remove it. The manufacturers, Chronicle, are calling them back due to the fabric insert. The fabric insert could cause respiratory or other kinds of infection. Supported by Reddit user Urban Planner Guy. The recall is specifically for a helmet that was sold via the GameSpot for around $150 in June. The product recall page on the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission website estimates that around 20,000 were sold.
Oh dear gods.
Oh, it gets better. People with compromised immune systems, damaged lungs, or an allergy to mold are apparently most at risk of infection from the fabric. Even if that isn't you, however, it's probably not worth worth the risk of keeping it lying around your home. GameStop is contacting customers directly, but if you've not heard from them, you can get in touch via the blah 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 blah. So basically,
shit.
yes. So I looked into this, and it turns out that there is in these helmets specifically, there is a foam padding, which is part of the one size fits all design. And this foam padding basically, it's to keep the helmet from jostling when you're moving your big fucking head around. Sorry, I had to say that at least once. but it's designed to keep your head in place, or the helmet in place when you move your head around, and etc., etc., etc. The typical stuff you use. It turns out this foam fabric used in the helmet is of cheap quality, like super cheap quality.
Oh gods, Bethesda, why?
And if exposed to enough moisture or isolated in dark areas, just anything that would allow mold to grow, mold will grow, flat out. And we're not talking about like the common like bread molding kind of thing. No, we're talking about the serious kind.
Yep.
The kind that you'll be like, my lungs are disintegrated.
Black mold.
Yes, exactly.
That is I do not joke around when it comes to mold, but my mom does not seem to care. When I used to work at the movie theater, we had a mold outbreak.
Oh no.
Now here's the thing. We're very, very... Gosh, we're just gonna go right back to porn here. I use this expression a lot, and I need to try and stop using it so much. But, like, at my old work, we were very anal about cleaning up the drains and, like, the soda dispensers and the popcorn machine and all that stuff. Just get all the stuff that could create mold, get it out of there. We were very anal about it. Well, we were. I don't work there anymore. And I remember one morning I came in and they immediately told me to run past the concession stand to get to the podium and not stop. And when I looked over at the concession stand as I was jogging by, because I'm a fat person with boobs, you don't run when you're a fat person with boobs. When I looked over, there were like 3 hazmat people opening the drain for the soda.
Oh no.
From what I heard in the report, the problem was so bad that it could actually like fill up a cement truck.
Oh no. You see, this is when it happens.
What had happened was actually the janitors that did that. Surprisingly, the people who were meant to clean it up did that.
I can imagine. No, I had something similar. Not like this, but I know exactly what like some of the procedures are. At the pub I worked in England, my job. Well, for anyone who is a fan of Homestuck, you'll get a laugh out of this. My job was filling buckets.
I get the reference.
Well,
Oh,
exactly.
cuz I get that reference.
So I was lugging around like 5 of these empty suckers, putting them underneath these, the drink dispensers, and then just filling them. And we would put this cleaning solution in that was this pure, unadulterated purple, and it would just, it looked like I was filling it with clubs, grape juice, basically. And we would have to run these things and like until it went from purple to a dark blue to a light blue and finally just to white. And I would have to go back and forth lugging these massive buckets everywhere and dumping out like gallons of pure purple gunk. Well, not even gunk, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Oh man, that's now gonna follow me for a while. Rev, professional bucket filler. But no, I get where you come from. But to go back to the helmets, this is serious because again, 20,000 people bought these fucking things.
I vaguely remember, I think Captain Sparkles has one in his house too.
Oh lord.
And no, he doesn't. I was thinking about Jacksepticeye, but no, he doesn't have that.
Oh, the irony of that. Especially in this context, but it's gotten worse to the point where like and what sucks is these helmets, they aren't the same anymore. A lot of people customize them to the point of them being really amazing things, like going in, painting them up, and customizing them in amazing ways. And I feel terrible for these people because now they're losing months of work because of a health issue that Bethesda, I'm not going to say overlooked, but purposely decided not to deal with.
Cheapskates.
Exactly. And now it's coming back to bite them because while I don't believe that Bethesda will be directly charged back for the refunds for this stuff, I do believe that there's going to be some monetary repercussions to Bethesda, at least from the company Chronicle that made the helmets. Sorry. A smart person would attack Bethesda for quality control.
But fortunately, we're not that smart.
Oh, that's the thing. They had the final say on the helmets. They could have stopped this. A legal case can be established for this.
Nope.
Well, if Chronicle loses a profit because of this, I think they will go after Bethesda. I think. I'm not hoping for it. I'm just saying that's the likely situation.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering that maybe even some people will, if they feel strongly about it, they will flat out, try to sue Bethesda because, they're being forced to give back something they've worked on. I mean, maybe some of them can avoid the issue if they remove the foam padding. Maybe.
I mean, if somebody's like using it for cosplay, they're very likely going to replace the foam.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that maybe those who customize, maybe they did remove foam because it is something cosplayers will do. They'll remove things that don't work for for whatever they're making, and then add on to it. Use better foam. I know I did when I needed to replace something for a mask I had. But they cannot win. Bethesda cannot win.
They're so goddamn cheap.
This is like all the negative karma just coming to them in the biggest storm we've ever seen. The moment they feel like they're slightly free from it, the storm just turns around and hits them again. Just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, a lot
Believe
of
it or
people
not, we're not feeling sorry for them.
No, we're not. And I don't even care because I never bought the helmet. I mean, yes, I feel a bit like I had it, but now I'm like, I'm good I don't have it. My lungs aren't compromised. it kind of makes me want to try. Oh, but no, there's actually there's a place, Gods and Monsters. They have the Fallout bar, and I remember seeing a Fallout 76 helmet there. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna have to remove this for health issues. Damn it! Now the power armor display they have there is gonna look so weird. Oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, as always, Bethesda, you're fucking up. You're fucking up, and you're giving us great content. Continue to fuck up, please. We will profit off of your stupidity. Yes.
We don't profit off of jack shit.
Exactly, and that's what's up. I guess profit, I suppose. But yeah. So let's move it right along into our next bit. And this has been speaking of YouTube, it's been a bit of a debacle on this end. And that is the whole YouTube verification bullshit that happened.
Yep. It made me concerned when I saw it.
Well, this is what I looked into it slightly.
Yep.
Again, we're not verified right now.
Nope, not at all. We need to reach like a certain 1,000 subscribers for that to happen. Yeah. We're nowhere near that, which is fine.
Yes. But what wound up happening is that I looked into the verification situation and I discovered something rather disgusting about it. According to sources, or a few sources I should say, YouTube was removing the verifications from channels and etc. Certain content creators, but they were keeping celebrities and people like that with their verifications.
Yep, they were doing what Twitter did so long ago.
Exactly, and I found this incredibly telling because it's when this was happening, no one talked about it. We're talking about like the really big guys didn't talk about it. But as soon as it came to light that they were going to start removing the verification for a lot of people, and not just the big guys, but everyone in general, that's when they started going like, I need to help the people, and etc., etc., etc. That was telling.
Mm-hmm.
That was, again, and that's what annoyed me. It's like this was an instance of the big guys not caring, except when it started to affect, the elites versus the regular folk.
I fucking hate it.
Everyone and their grandmother hated it.
Which is hilarious, because there's like a very famous or very popular YouTuber who is like an 84-year-old grandma. And I love her. She's adorable. She plays Skyrim all the time. Like she makes it fun.
But that's what I'm getting at. When this whole debacle happened, basically, a lot of people began to speak up because they were getting affected in X, Y, and Z, yada yada yada, and it drove up the sodding wall. Because, like I said, this was just an incident of, oh shit, now it's us against them. And Bill and I, we spoke about this a bit. And, I mentioned this. I said, I knew this was going to happen. I knew no one was going to care about it. We first saw the little folks starting to get wild up about it, but then we saw people who actually cared, such as Young Yeah, for example, talking about it a little while later. And again, I trust Young because he doesn't backstab people. He typically tells it as it is. So same with Sid Alpha. These two start talking about it, then not a lot of other people start talking about it. And then finally, at the end of it all, when a lot of people were finally getting up in arms about it, it was like, okay, we won't do it, we won't do this thing, we hear you. It's funny, isn't it, how YouTube will back down when the entire platform turns against them.
I mean, the entire platform turned against him for, like, the adpocalypse and all that shit.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't care. But that's the thing. They didn't care about the apocalypse because not everyone was being affected equally, and because of that, they were like, "Oh, we don't. This doesn't affect us. Okay, bye, thanks." Basically, and by that point, like a lot of people started to go through the, excuse me, through basically crowdfunding. That's what wound up happening afterwards. And to be quite frank, Apocalypse has affected YouTube in different ways. A lot of content creators in different ways. And I don't want to say it's all been for the negative or all for the better either. It
has been a teeter-totter.
Exactly. And like, again, you have pariahs out there who feed off of the ad revenue and will beg their fans to the day they die that they need to give them money, while others are more like, it's a source of income, I'm not really bothered. This is where, like I said, this is where we're kinda at when it comes to this whole situation. But again, it shows you like what can happen if everyone on this platform worked together. We could really affect change, Like get rid of the stupid copyright system that destroys channels because someone's pissed off because of what someone else says.
I'm looking at whoever the fuck copyrighted Castle Crashers for a song that plays in Castle Crashers while we're playing fucking Castle Crashers. That's the dumbest thing. Like even the guy who made the music for that game is confused as to why that happened.
Exactly, and this is what I'm getting at. It's... Oh god, sorry. It's... That's the perfect example. People weaponize it frequently. You've got people who can flag things without, and without hearsay, and the algorithm destroys everyone, etc., etc. And it's disgusting, is what it is. And people will weaponize it, but like I said, with this verification situation, everyone just proved that they still have some power with YouTube. If only they were more willing to do it more frequently and actually commit to it, maybe, just maybe, things would be better for us. And we wouldn't have the likes of Logan Paul bringing the site down because he's from Disney. And actually, but that's the thing. I'll give YouTube this. The algorithm is good about one thing, and that is filtering out shit content. And I mean, by that I mean like people who will sit in front of a TV, point a shitty camera at it, and then record it and expect to get, hundreds of dollars from it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's what that's the one thing I'll give the algorithm. It's good at least dealing with crap content creators out there. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, I went into a micro rant there.
No, you're fine.
The basic gist is the verification thing was ended, fortunately, and it doesn't seem like it's going to happen again. But again, this should be a wake-up call to a lot of people. YouTube doesn't give a shit about its creators anymore. Mm-hmm. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to start looking into alternatives to YouTube. I mean, fully looking into them. I don't want to say Mixer, but like, other video hosting sites. Maybe it's time to start making the shift. But yeah. Sorry, it's just saying there's like, alright, let's move it right along.
I was gonna say something to you, like, before the stream even started, but I don't think it's worth it, just because of, like, the content that it's about.
What were you... I'm confused.
Like, just because of, like, the topic that it's about is not really a pleasant one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not too sure I want to talk about it.
Okay.
But, it does prove that, like, I don't want to have to watch the video again to confirm this, but it does prove that while YouTube is a terrible website, similar to Tumblr. They're both rather bad websites now. When they get like a red flag, they're on it like a fucking hawk. Though sometimes the most obvious things are slipped under the radar. And it's frustrating. And horrifying, too. I'm pretty sure, like, for those of you who follow Anthomnia, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. But...
hold on a second, real quick. I'm just checking something, because someone sent me... something weird. What is this? Oh, okay. That's... odd. I didn't know that. Okay. Sorry. Someone sent me some... Go ahead, try again.
Anthomnia has, like, kind of proved that there are a lot of good content creators out there. And he's one of them. Like, I'm gonna hold this guy up on a pedestal for this. Like, he has, of a lot of the YouTubers that I've seen lately, he's the one that has gone through the most changes. For usually the better. When it comes to, like, the ARC YouTubers, Every Night X Riot is still a bastard. He's hilarious, but he's a bastard. And he hasn't grown out of that. Anthomnia has grown out of fake clickbaiting. And, like, tricking viewers to see his videos. He has completely grown out of that. But he has also put up, like, 2 videos in a short amount of time talking about how quickly a community can jump on something viciously and attack something if it's to protect others. And it has gotten to a YouTuber with, like, thousands of subscribers being torn down and torn apart, pretty much.
Right. I've seen something similar. So, this actually brings up... we all know that I talk about the pig roach of the internet, you know, being Phil.
Yep.
Which, by the way, his racism is finally catching up to him. If for anyone who doesn't know, this guy has, like, issues, you know? His view of humor is, see a race, use stereotype as humor. We're talking... in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with, like, racial humor if handled correctly, you know? Like, if it's obvious you're doing it for a joke, and you actually don't mean what you say, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if you joke about Mexicans, but in reality you don't eat... yada yada yada. He made jokes that you could tell was from a source of pure just hatred. Just intolerance in general. We're talking about constantly rehashing the same jokes at the same types of characters in video games and never really realizing I should probably shut up. To the point where now in his live streams, whenever there's a black person on the game, he has a tick now where he'll go to open his mouth but immediately shove his finger in there and start chewing them. That's telling. But now, like I said, someone made a compilation, and people have discovered it, and now they're like, you know what? I think now's look at this racist piece of shit, etc., etc. And now everyone wants to cancel him, which I'm not. I don't support that. I hate cancel culture. You know, it's not right. But in this case, I'll make the exception because this piece of shit, you know, it's pure evil. Use one evil to destroy another. But anyway. So Phil actually had a community grew up around him, which was dedicated to chronicling his fuck-ups, his lies and everything, and exposed to the world. Which is, they used to be fans, which is the ironic thing. But they hated everything Phil did, and they wanted to make their content around shining a spotlight on all his dirty little secrets, you know, that kind of thing. Which wasn't anything wrong about it. But there was a problem. They were they were bullies about it. If you made content off of Phil, right? Like, let's say you weren't part of this community and you just want to pick on him because, I feel like doing that, you know? Like, it's not part of my typical content, right?
Yeah.
The leaders of this group would actually contact this person, or this YouTuber, and if they put ads on the video, they would force them to remove them because they had this stupid rule of, oh, no one should make money off of Phil. We shouldn't monetize his students. Like, what? It turned out that they were doing this because they wanted to create a monopoly, obviously. And then they would drag these people into the community kicking and screaming. And we're talking, like, they did things that are just flat out horrible, like blackmailing other people, holding dirt, just shit of that nature. Really, really horrible shit. Even their leader was a piece of shit. Worse than Phil, actually. Saying something.
Not really surprised.
Well, the guy was called Fred Fox. Yes. But it was spelled like Fuchs. Fuchs. Anyway, but the guy was like, he was a coward, he's a ghost of, you know, the type who's so afraid of people finding out who they are that they'll never show anything about them. You only hear their voice. That kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, Fred, he was the ringleader behind a lot of the fucking horrible shit, you know, the gay ops and everything. By the way, I don't get that. Why do people call these things gay ops?
I don't know.
It's so weird. It's like, it's a gay op. Okay, is this you secretly planning to butt fuck someone? What? Are you hiding in the bushes? Just watching them when they fuck someone? What? I know. Hold on. Dog's crying. Give me 1 second. He wants to come into the room.
Well, you heard butt fucking, so he's interested. This is a very weird episode. Very weird episode. Oh, excuse me.
And I'm back.
This is a very weird episode, by the way.
It is, but so the point is that you can only do so much, and we're talking about this group was paranoid. They assumed everyone was out to get it, you know, that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally, an alliance built on mistrust is doomed to fail. Well, the leaks have. By the way, this group is called the SOK, the Sons of Kojima. In fact, I'm just gonna get a quick image of that.
Oh, good gods.
Yes, I know. It's as stupid as it sounds. And one of the one of their former members, a guy called Tevin, has actually nicknamed them the Autistic Illuminati.
No.
Yes. But what it was is that the Sun's objective was always to follow, to always follow Phil, and always make his life a living hell. You know, they don't, the whole point was never to hurt Phil. You know, never give him the victim status so he can start, you know...
Don't give him fuel.
Exactly, that's it. But it was always to hurt him in the places he cared most. YouTube, exposing his lie, making people aware of just how much of a piece of shit this motherfucker was. That was the objective.
I like the random Homer Simpson.
That's the point. Like, they had all green names. They were all just, you know, they...
I'm not giving them fuel either. This is not going up on stream. And he's gone.
Nope.
Hello.
I'm here. Did the stream die?
You died.
Oh, I died. Okay. And then I was brought back. Like
oh, wait, no. YouTube died.
Oh. Okay, then.
But Twitch is still going. What the hell? You refresh this.
Yeah, I'm refreshing my YouTube as well.
Nope, YouTube has just decided, you know what, this is enough. Oh dear gods, come on.
I hate when it does that. YouTube, you piece of shit. Join us next week when we decide to, Wow. Is YouTube really having that much of a hard...
I'm refreshing again.
Same. Like my phone says it's still going, but the main one is like nope. You know, fuck it, I'm going to Twitch. Screw this.
I think it's because we've been talking about way too many dark things in quick succession. Okay.
What did you say?
It's because we were talking about too many dark things in quick succession.
Oh. Oh well. Let us migrate to Twitch. Screw this. If YouTube wants to be completely anal about this, let it. We have other platforms to go to.
Yep. And soon one of them will be Mixer.
Yes. So screw you. So where was I?
You were talking about this group, and because I don't want to fuel them either, I'm not putting this on stream.
No, I was getting to that.
Yeah.
Well, because of what they did, and because of how they acted, and like I said, the dark shit they were doing, leaks came out exposing the whole group, like everyone from the top echelons to the bottom. And they were like involved with horrible shit. It turns out they were trying to keep Phil around to be like their own personal source of entertainment. Like they were protecting this piece of shit. Just shit of that nature. To the point where, hilariously enough, it was so bad. Like this is the kind of expository shit that the whole thing just imploded. Like the group no longer exists. They all left, one after the other after the other. In fact, the last two to leave were the founders, and they held out the longest, but they were the quickest to abandon the whole thing. Now they're gone. The SOK is dead. Completely and utterly dead. Like, the group is gone, Fred is still out there, but he's so hated in the world that there's no way he can come back. That's how bad it is. And honestly, like I said, it's like a fairy tale. The day the autistic Illuminati fell apart. But yes. So, naturally, that was the end of it. So that's kind of where the point comes in. They fell apart because their own community turned on them and destroyed them. So I know exactly where this can come from, when your own community just drags and destroys a creator because of perceived...
Oh, look at that. YouTube is back.
Okay, well, back to YouTube.
who knows how long, but,
yeah.
With what I was getting at, it was most, like, the first one was a community rising up to fight something that had snuck in. The second one was an entire community attacking another community and then having them join in.
Exactly, and that's what the SOK was. They attacked some random community and forced them to merge. It's like an aggressive amoeba.
Yeah, but like in this case, they weren't aggressive towards the community, they were aggressive towards the person the community was following.
I know exactly how that can happen, how that can be. It's a shame.
I don't want to say the dreaded word that caused it, but all I can say is I am happy these people are gone. And Thanya did a what?
I just was thought of the first thing that came to mind, like the dreaded word, dick fucking.
No.
No, I know, I'm just kidding.
It's like I praise Antonia for being very quick to notice and being very quick to help. And also putting up videos and saying these people's names as clear as day multiple times, showing their icons, their images, their photos, and telling people to avoid them.
Yeah, it was just like the YouTube Volvin player. You know who I'm talking.
No.
He was he is he's a bit of a meme lord, like Warframe.
Mm-hmm.
But during the whole when DE had a stupid moment, and they believed that their own community was attacked, you know, they were starting to drink the dreaded PC punch, right? He basically put DE on blast, not in a negative way. You're being stupid. Stop being stupid. You know, like that.
Yeah.
And what he did was he highlighted what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh my god, it's in the back of my mind. So he highlighted very negative, very toxic individuals within the YouTube, within DE's community. And because of his actions, DE said, okay, we need to stop. And exactly the same thing like this guy did.
The difference is with what Downey did, it got two people who deserve to be in jail put in jail.
Good. But as far as I know from what Rahitelius, this guy has such a the Boobin Train Man.
What the fuck?
That's literally what he is. His icon is just Boobin as a train. It's just.
I think he's a train too. He's a choo-choo train.
Exactly. That's why we call it the Boobin Train.
Well, you call it that. I call him the choo-choo.
Boobin.
Choo-choo.
Can I get a praise, Boobin?
I love that video.
But no, what he did was kind of the same thing, but except no one did anything illegal in the community. It was more like toxic. I hate using that word toxic, but they were like nasty towards towards any newcomers of the game. They so power hungry that they're like, you can't touch us. We have DE's ear and everything. Put them on blast. He revealed the truth, and then DE's like, okay, goodbye. Like flat out got rid of them. And I was like, woo.
Yeah.
But yeah. We've been talking about negative shit. Let's get into something positive.
Yeah.
And that is Monster Hunter Iceborne. I finally finished it. I am underwhelmed. I'm kidding. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It brought a lot of interesting stuff to the game. I was like, yes.
Yay.
What is the no? It's the to quote Archer for a second. Please, my dick can only get so erect. Same thing. But let's get into it. So, Iceborne is the expansion to Monster Hunter. And when I say expansion, I mean expansion.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like when Kuv Taroth entered and we got one new area. No, we're talking about a whole new region. Let's get into it. So, first off, it turns out that the new region isn't an island as everyone thought. It's a fucking continent. Somehow we didn't notice this.
A whole new world.
Literally, but I'm sitting there, and my immediate thought is, wait, this continent's been here in roughly the east, like northeast of Astera and everything, and we've just now noticed it. What the fuck, people? We have binoculars for a reason. You're all blind. No, but so this new region, which they're calling the Hinterlands, if I remember, it's just ice. We've invaded Canada.
Well, you've pretty much invaded my hometown.
And not only have we invaded Canada, we have invaded dreaded Canadian demon moose.
Oh no.
I'm just picturing that right now. It just says like the Canadian flag as like a fur pattern on the side, and its antlers drip maple syrup.
I would not taste any of that. Nope.
It has a beaver's tail for some reason. It is the Canadian maple beaver moose. I'm going to hell, but the new region's been investigated, but this whole thing starts because there's something weird happening in nature. A Legiana migration, the likes of which no one has ever seen. Now, for those of you who play the game, you all know what a Legiana is. Giant fuck-off bird.
I love them. They're my favorite.
Well, that's the thing. Legiana is a solitary hunter. So the fact that they're migrating in the biggest herd you could ever see, like a literal flock, is telling. Again, it's like seeing a bunch of tigers all working as a pride, when tigers are known to be relatively solitary.
Actually, according to a study, that's not true.
Okay, bears, then.
Oh, that is 100% the best description.
Exactly.
Like,
So,
polar bears will kill each other unless they're wanting to have sex.
yes. So, the fact that this is happening, not the polar bears having sex, I mean...
Technically, yeah, in some places.
I'm sorry,
Oh my gosh.
The fact that this migration is happening immediately alerts everyone that something is very wrong. So we go in, we find out, and we establish a new colony. Acilia, basically. And it's basically a reef Arctic base from one of the previous Monster Hunters. The moment I was there, I was like, I'm home. Like, flat out. I was quite happy. So we have a new group, well, not new group, but a new team of, actually, you want, I'll just bring this up. We have, a new group of, people who run the colony, basically. For one, the chief tracker, which is, the commander's grandson, has, is now put in charge of the colony. His grandfather thinks he's he's proven himself enough to, run his own thing, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? He has. Like, give the kid a shot.
Yeah, give Matthew Mercer some control. What's
the
worst that could happen?
No. It didn't feel like anything out of the blue, It was more like this, it didn't feel forced. It felt natural. Yeah. So I was happy, the colony's established, a few new people, and the muscular chef's master has decided to take up root here. She is very wonderful.
Everybody loves her. She's like a grandma to everyone.
Yes. Though she's very insistent that we finish the food. I'm like, I'm never gonna not finish this.
Hell no, it looks delicious. Are you kidding me? Like, everybody is going crazy over her.
Yes. And she's wonderful pasta. So
I will say I was a little thrown off by the buff one previously. I was not expecting that, like, at all.
To quote Jobby the Hong, why is he so buff? But like I was saying, there's basically everyone's pretty much settling in. The player and the handler wind up they're having the airships are having problems landing, basically. So she decides, let's jump into this unexplored land, literally jump from the ship, and just find a place to land. My immediate thought was, you're gonna get us killed, and I love you. But no, so naturally, they go in, they encounter the first of the this region's new animals, which is just the shovelfish, which I was kind of like, it's not that I hate the monster, it's just I don't enjoy fighting it. It's a very repetitive fight. It basically burrows underground and you need to force it out before you can do damage. I was like, I hate you. But yeah. The colony's established. The tracker, the elderly woman from the Roddenvale, she's there as well. And, everyone's kind of investigating. They're trying to figure out why the Legion are migrating. And they make a discovery. It turns out that the Commission wasn't the first people to actually land on the New World or this region. They find a frozen over ship A very small one, probably a scout expeditionary ship. And it turns out that this ship actually belonged to the tracker's master, the person who taught her everything she knows.
Oh, damn.
Well, it was kind of shocking because she never found out what happened to him, or her. They just vanished one day. So the first clue is immediately there, and the piece of fabric begins to explain what happens. A song, Legiana Migration, something's happened again. Something that happened, given that she's what, like 60 years old, I want to say?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll say 60, plus her master was probably equally 60, so we'll say 70 years ago, something around there, I would say. But something that's happened in the past is happening again, and immediately everyone is on edge, so like, why is this happening? She wants to find out what happened and what is going on, and it turns out that the handler has a bit of a connection. Her grandfather was part of the scout expedition, and actually broke the rules of the commission. There's
Damn.
Well, here's the thing. Whenever the guild has extremely strict rules when it comes to hunting monsters, dealing with environments. We've known this. One of these rules is if you find something new in a different environment anywhere, you cannot bring it back with you to an old environment. This can be anything: flowers, rocks, animals, etc., etc. The only thing that's allowed is like armors, naturally, since it's dead and we know the properties. Her grandfather, on the other hand, brought back a shard of an animal, something unusual. It's not quite glass, and it's not quite ice. It's unusual. It's like smooth stone, a crystal almost. She explains that he talked about coming to the New World, finding this, but then returning home once this task was done. She wants to continue following the tracker, and the player actually gets to be paired up with another handler, the serious handler. She's not that fun. She's more, by the books, really. And I didn't mind it. I was okay with it, I was like, okay, finally, someone who's taking this seriously. But my god, is she lifeless. She's just kind of like very to the point. Well, the investigations go into further, and we find out one of the sources of problems. The Velkhana. The Velkhana is actually... we all assumed it was the Everworm, right? We even called it that back in our analysis video.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out the Velkhana isn't an Everworm. It's actually just a very rare species of Elder Dragon. In fact, it's very closely related to the Velkhandra, I believe. The Blade Wind Dragon. You know what I'm talking about.
Not really.
The Silver Dragon with the reddish kind of crest at the front. Like it walks on all fours. It's not wavering.
I don't know.
Okay, let me find it. It's got a very peculiar name. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Like, I remember this Icy Wing motherfucker. I remember him.
Icy Wing motherfucker. That's it. Kushala do Ora. Again, we can't come up with a more simple name than this. We can't call it like, oh, I don't know, Big Fuck Off Dragon 1. No, something simple.
I like that, like, when it came to Nergigante, they kind of leaned into a different language for that one.
Obviously, Gigante means giant to begin with. Here we are. I believe that Velkhana is actually related to this dragon.
Oh, shit! I remember this guy. I saw Dern showing off, like, elder dragons that just do not give a shit about you being there.
Yes.
And he walked right up to this guy and actually took a nap with him.
Exactly. These dragons are known to be like
And then he did the same thing with like Nergigante,
eh,
but it didn't last very long.
and of course, that thing is always pissed off, but that's not the point. Like I said, I am convinced that Valkana is a subspecies or a different, or connected somehow to Kushala Dora. They're way too similar to it be a coincidence. But what's interesting is that this dragon in particular, this elder dragon, it has the ability to freeze anything it encounters just by breathing on it or flapping its wings slightly. And we're talking about like from, I want to say, a normal temperature to about 2,000 below in
Holy
5
shit.
seconds. There's a bit of a sweet spot where you can avoid it, but you have to be like somewhat close to the dragon. When the hunters, when the tracker, the handler, and the player eventually face or are investigating an area, they find just a total frozen patch of small dragons, so small monsters everywhere, like frozen mid-flight, as if they were trying to run. When they encounter it, the same thing happens. These monsters that were trying to get away from it are frozen in an instant and dead immediately. That is how dangerous this dragon is, if left unchecked. Well, it's been active. It's causing problems. Not only that, but a lot of subspecies have also started appearing. We're talking about subspecies of the monsters we faced before. Like Kobi-Kadachi having a viper subvariant, a Puki found in the Coral Highlands that has a water jet for a tail, that kind of thing. A few other monsters from the old world are also here. My main man, Gladius, of course, the Barioth, and a few more dangerous ones as well. Some of them, I actually got a theory as to why so many monsters from the old world are here. And this actually goes back to something I've said before. Prior to the expedition, prior to the commission even founding them, an event did happen several years within the timeline of Monster Hunter, and that was the molting of Gormagalas. And what happened is that because Gormagalas molt, they wind up sending up this fungus-like spores into the air, and it carries a very nasty virus which is called Frenzy. And it wound up infecting. Basically, it's a walking ecological. What was interesting was that a lot of monsters actually wound up getting up and leaving their habitats and going so far away from them that it seemed unnatural. We're talking about, again, it's like imagine a hippo leaving a perfectly normal watering hole because the alligators are suddenly acting more aggressive than it can handle, even for a hippo. Walking hundreds of miles through a desert looking for a new place to stay. That is how unusual it was. To the point where that's basically what I believe it has happened. Why so many monsters from the old world are in the new. I believe this is the result of a lot of them migrating, the winged ones I should say, migrating to the new world and hinterlands to avoid the infection, while others might have been able to, as for the walking ones, I believe that some of them did exist in the region before. Like maybe there was a Pangea level supercontinent that broke apart. But that's just my explanation, but if that makes any sense. Yeah, that's it. Just
I'm listening. I have a lot of other stuff going on in the background.
fair enough. But yeah, a few other monsters did return, including the I'm going to hit you ape for some reason. The Rangjang. You ever seen that monkey?
I've seen the pictures. I don't like monkeys.
Though that thing is overly aggressive. Like, I don't know what its problem is. It just likes to fight things and eat them. Well, actually, here's the crazy thing. That Rangjangs are actually the natural predators to Kurans. That's why they have electricity, because they, when they eat Curans, they wind up eating the electric fur as well, so they have a natural immunity. But it winds up also giving them their own lightning power. Yeah, very strange, but not too unusual. However, there's one monster that has recently appeared in the game, which makes me extremely worried. You know Clifford, right? Our big, scary, fuck you, I have a giant jaw monster.
The one that Liam has a hard-on for?
Yes.
And the unfortunate one that I allowed him to have as a mount in my D&D campaign. Which he got killed the first day he summoned it.
Nice.
Literally, a troll pushed him off a cliff. Like, in D&D, the mechanic is, if you fall further than, like, 5 feet, you add a d10 dice, I think it's a d10, to, you just keep adding more and more d10 dice to the fall damage. So at some point you could roll 100 d10s to see how much damage you take.
Well, there's a reason to bring up this monster, and that is a subspecies has been found, the ebony.
Yeah, he's excited for that one.
Well, here's something to take into account, and I've actually talked about this with another friend of mine. I believe that this thing is infected with frenzy. What the frenzy virus does is it kills the host and then reanimates. Oh, for fuck's sake! Sorry. Hold on. It's an important phone call.
Yeah, take it. It's actually like super rabies. Oh boy.
And I am back.
Hey.
And I apologize. It was just work telling me that Casual Friday has been cancelled.
Oh no.
That and No Pants Friday is also being cancelled. Strange,
well,
isn't it?
I'm wearing pajamas.
No, but so what I was getting at is that like I said, frenzy reanimates the body, makes it and winds up altering the creature's chemical makeup. You recall how the Devil Joe is? Like, it produces that energy for some reason?
Yep.
Same thing. Somehow these animals wind up getting dragon's breath and becoming so aggressive that like you said, it's super rabies.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this ebony Odo dragon, and and it's acting too much like it's infected with frenzy, like it's sick. When we see it, it's aggressive. It attacks another Odo dragon, or Odo Garan, murders it flat out, but doesn't eat the body. It throws it away into the rotten vale, and then turns its attention on the hunter. This is typical for animals that are sick with frenzy. They lose their appetite. The need to kill is what's left. And they typically starve to death because of it. That's my worry right now, that we've just seen patient 0. And I'm hoping that that the infection hasn't come here, because if it has, it also means that there's another Gormagala somewhere out there molting. And we all know how dangerous that can be. So, Valkana might not be the only issue we have. And that's saying something. Yes. Doom. Nah. Anyway, back to the point. After hunting a few subspecies and dealing with the animals, the battle against Valkana kind of begins. And just like how Zora Magdaros' fight was done, the hunters try to barricade the creature. The goal is to lock it down, because it attacks the colony, actually. The goal is to lock it in one place and then kill it quickly. not with a Dragonator, but with a different dragon-based weapon. They're trying to corral it in one little place, and you actually see the what's the word? You actually see the the chief's master fighting this thing, flat out battling the Valkana one-on-one, and it was amazing to see both of them fighting. Like, there was a moment in the fight where he manages to he's trading blows with the oh god, sorry, I'm having a moment. He's trading blows with Valkana, like it's actually using its tail as a sword, and he manages to nip the old knight on the helmet just enough to make him turn his head, but he turns it around and stabs this thing with the sword. And they actually stare down at each other, like Valkana doesn't see him as some, quote-unquote naked ape. It sees him as another monster, and it was amazing to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, flat out, he's actually... You know how whenever an animal will fight another one, they'll kind of circle each other?
Yep. Yep.
He was doing the same thing with it. And, like I said, it was amazing to watch. Of course, he winds up getting knocked out because of it. Almost dies from it, too. I was actually worried. I was like, no, don't kill him, please.
That's what, like, the trailer made you think it was gonna happen, too, so...
Well, there's a moment where they have all the weapons set. We're talking about the cannons, the giant fuck-off spike, everything. And he's injured. Like, he's stuck on the ground, exhausted. His student can't bring himself to order them to fire. He actually gets up, not really gets up, kind of leans up and just says, just do it, getting them to fire before falling unconscious again. And for a moment, I thought he actually died right there. And, like, part of me was like, please don't kill him, he's too bad. Another part was like, if he dies, I'm kind of okay with this. It seems like a fitting end. But, again, it was kind of a sombering moment for the chief, He lost his cool, he lost command for a second. He kind of doubts himself from then on. And I kind of feel for the kid, It's that moment where you really can't blame him. It's his first time having real authority. Kind of blundered there, but, it kind of happens to the best of us,
Yeah.
So they wind up sticking the dragon with a spike. It breaks off almost immediately, and the player fights it. Then hunts it to its own lair, and finally kills it. You wanna know what's absolutely insane?
What?
Its cavern, its nest, is full of these amazing, beautiful crystals. Like these vibrant, dark blues. And after you kill it, you find out what it's made of. And you're gonna get a kick out of this. It's volcanic rock, super frozen in place.
Holy shit.
And this is, my immediate thought was, why would it do this? It turns out that it also even went to the Everstream, a place which is so, hot, that it should have melted its body, it should have died from, heat exhaustion. And it was fine. It gathered what it wanted and it left. And this is the reason. It looks for places where volcanic seismic activity happens, where magma and rock will spew out from the ground. It'll go there and flash freeze it all to form this very unique crystal. From there, it just uses this crystal as armor. When its armor breaks off, and I'm not talking about the ice armor, I'm talking about it has a second layer of armor underneath. When that breaks off, it just goes back to its nest and replaces it. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this is something else that should tell you something. This dragon lacks the ability to do that. And the handler and the tracker kind of piece it together. The Valkana isn't the source. And there's this sound. And immediately after the sound, seismic activity happens elsewhere.
Oh no, the dogs are growling at the mailman.
Oh no. They're like, Man with bag, attack him.
You know what's hilarious is that dogs will not attack or get aggressive towards UPS drivers, but they will hate United States Postal Service people. There is an entire Tumblr blog based around the happy greetings that dogs and other pets have towards UPS drivers, and then there's the United States Postal Service getting their asses kicked.
But yes, there's a bit more. So there's a sound, and seismic activity happens almost immediately. It turns out there's something else out there, something much larger, that is literally destroying the environment. And I'm not talking like, oh, it flies around. No, I'm talking about it's actually destroying shit, and everything's put on edge. This is where the true everworm is discovered. And this wasn't even a, like, what's the word? This wasn't even, you know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bigger threat. So, the rest of the expansion is dedicated to figuring out what is going on, why so many subspecies are popping up everywhere, and dealing with them. And this includes a new dragon that has never been seen before. Like, this is something that exists purely in the new world, and I think you're gonna like it.
I hope so.
Behold, the Master of Illusion. Sorry, push cancel. Never mind. There it is.
Oh, that looks so cool. I've seen pictures of this guy.
The Namiel. This thing is... It uses illusions and fight. It's a pure water dragon. So it has the ability to kind of hypnotize people. If you look too closely at certain parts. You know, the wings, the vibrant colors, that kind of thing. And I like it. It's a rare... It's exactly what I was hoping to find in the new world. And I'm so happy I finally found it. You know? But it's a crazy monster to say the least. But, like I was saying, there's something else that's causing it. After investigations, they discovered that there's seismic activity working in a spiral, making its way to the Everstream, the source where that strange dragon was found. You know, the thing that was drawing the other I'm trying to remember its name. Xenogivus, that's it.
Yeah, there's a model for that on Gmod, by the way.
Oh yeah, I love it. But this is where the true monster is discovered, and another landmass is found, an island, which turns out to be made out of Zora. Not the one we killed, another one that died like a long time ago. And this is where the monster, the Everworm, is discovered. This creature is called Shar Ishavalda.
Wow.
And how do I put it? It's a dragon I don't think anyone has ever seen. At first it looked like just a mess of stones, gems, just that, you know? People just assumed that was the animal to begin with. No, it turns out it was a shell. This creature actually has the ability to form and manipulate rock and stone everywhere. It's how it's able to tunnel underground without leaving passage. It's literally stones with its body. And as it accumulates more stones, it makes it easier. Not only that, but there's something also peculiar. A Nergigante is protecting it, but not of its own free will. This dragon has the ability to manipulate others. It is not natural to the environment. Like, how do I put it? I'm not saying it's artificial. I'm saying that this thing has existed in a way that it should not exist. Once the shell is broken off, you see... Again, it shows how unnatural this creature is, especially given the world. Like, just look at its head, look at its body. Nobody talks
Holy
about this thing.
shit!
You see?
It looks like something out of like a Studio Ghibli or like a Japanese horror comic.
Exactly. And this is what's kind of led people to speculate that this thing isn't a true living creature, or it's not even a something natural to the world of Monster Hunter. Some have actually speculated, flat out, that it's a true demon. I don't believe it. Specifically because while we've seen semi-supernatural creatures before in Monster Hunter, they've always had a reason to exist, you know, part of an environment, part of nature. This thing, on the other hand, looks like it's been mutated, it's been malnourished, transformed in unnatural ways. And it's huge, too. Even when the player defeats them, all the other hunters, we're talking about the old knight, the admiral, the commander, the tracker, even the chief and the handler, they all come to deal with this thing. Like, they come to this island because they want to see what is going on here. And even when the hunter beats it and they're all celebrating, it's still alive. And it's made very clear that no one person can take this thing on. Like, flat out. Of course, they don't fight it, obviously. It turns out Nergigante breaks free, attacks this monster, and kills it. Like, actually breaks its neck and everything.
Yay!
But it's a very Jurassic Park Rexy moment. Like, it actually pins the creature down, breaks its eats, and then does the Jurassic Park roar in triumph.
Yay!
And then it leaves. Because it knows we're not a threat. It's done its purpose. And it just kind of fucks off. It's like, oh, humans. Okay, bye.
Sorry, stream, this is a little startling, but yeah, there you go. There's the creature.
Demon face.
Just me.
The shell is very unnatural. Like, again, you could obviously tell it wasn't an organic thing, just of how it was all moving and everything. I actually can't find the shell properly. But it was a mess. Like, just rocks. Imagine rocks paste onto that body. But, like I said, it was killed. That's where it ends. The Everworm is dead, and the ecosystem's returning. In fact, there's even a party at the end. Everyone's celebrating. All the hunters, both from every fleet, are actually at this big celebration. And they're not even wearing their full set of armor. They're actually just wearing casual clothing, which was extremely refreshing. Oh, actually, I found a gift for that. And let me just put it here. I think you're gonna like it a bit.
Oh.
I like the muscular. I like how he reacts. Like, well. But it was extremely refreshing and heartwarming. Everyone's finally letting their hair for once. It was great. A great banquet, food, drink, good company. It felt like the end, but go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised there's no group of cats playing drums using like helmets.
Nah. In fact, what I found hilarious is the old knight. He can't handle his alcohol. He's like two mugs in and is already plastered. And they're even telling him, you've had enough. Oh, it was heartwarming, to say the least. But it felt like the end, but not like this is the end of the series or the end of the game. No. The end of this chapter. That's the best way to put it. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is they even talk about what happened with the dragon. And they speculate that it's something that has actually broken its own food chain ecosystem. Like, it's been able to avoid being killed for so long that it became a threat to nature, to the point where it was actually going to destroy the ecosystem just by its mere presence. And then, immediately they were worried about, okay, so does that mean nature is always doomed to destroy itself? To which I believe it's the commander who actually says, no, it's the admiral who immediately points out that no, Nergigante is an actual countermeasure. This thing is called the extinction dragon for a good reason. It's not malicious, it's not evil. Its purpose is to cull species when they reach too much of a point. And they even realize that Nergigantes, even though they're dangerous, even though they're aggressive, they shouldn't be treated like the devil joke, an animal that will cause an extinction event without reason. It's natural and people should treat it as such. They even call it something that's the great balance of nature. And I like that.
Yeah.
It's rare to see that kind of lesson taught.
It's nice.
Yeah. And again, it kind of sheds light into it explained why Nergigante did kill Zoramagdaros, why it protected it. It was its job to make sure it made it so they could kill Xenogivus. And even what happened with this Elder Dragon. They even joke and say maybe hunters are another part of the or the natural ecosystem balance. And I want to say that's true. Our job really is to, cut out a living in this world, hunt monsters, but preserve the ecosystem. That's why the guild exists, why the rules are so strict, why we're told to hunt certain monsters while we leave others alone. And it felt nice. It felt, like everything was in full circle. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. And now for something silly. Because it's getting too serious.
Too deep.
It's too deep.
Oh my god. I love that.
What was that? Like, someone named the head.
Kevin.
And it was... Exactly, and then there's Kevin.
Like... They have, like, proper names, but everyone has, like, just jumped on the Kevin name that they've just kind of given up.
Yes. No, I'm sorry to... if we're talking about Ghidorah for a second, the head joke. Head naming joke. And to quote someone I like called Jobby the Hung, when he was doing the review for the giant toy of Ghidorah. He does a little like Godzilla kiss thing based on like how much he likes the toy and everything.
Mm.
So he was doing a kiss for the two heads and then immediately, but fuck Kevin. just left him there. And I immediately wrote under the comments, why fuck Kevin? What did Kevin ever do to you? Yeah, but yeah. Again, and it's true, Piscean wyverns are the fuck. Why do you exist? You serve no purpose in nature other than to be
It's like the dodo.
Well, at least we can say that its stupidity is its natural advantage. Piscean wyverns are just evolutionary dead end. Exactly. But yeah. So, to basically sum up, Iceburn is an excellent expansion to World. It brings a lot of old monsters back from the previous games, has an interesting story, surprisingly deep, and it brings some new monsters and mechanics in. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think, it deserves its price point and then some. Yes. In fact, there's one thing I do like. It's actually, the expansion even explains why Taroth is acting up. They even hint at why she's moving around. It's because of that monster on the island. So it was kind of like foreshadowing, and I enjoyed that. I'm just picturing her now just running around screaming, "You idiot! You don't know what's happening!"
She's like crawling around. She's like, "God damn it, keep away from me."
Yes.
Do you have any idea how expensive this dress is, you motherfucker?
Exactly. But yeah. Well, that covers that. We should be on our last topic now, and that is...
Which is the one I added.
Yeah, Minecon Live is just around the corner on September 20th. Alright, go for it.
It's like 2 days away.
Okay.
So, Minecraft is back in the spotlight. It's getting popular again. But that's not the focus of this. Every year since the release of Enderman, like the very first Minecon, which was, I believe, at Las Vegas, they have had a Minecraft convention. For the past few years, though, Minecon has changed from being like you go and visit it to being an online streaming convention, where you can order the stuff that you would usually find at the physical place to, you can order, like, the merchandise, but they still have people show up to do, like, costume contests and all that jazz.
Yes.
Actually, now that I think about it, it's more like TennoCon, where you do have a stream with every single stage event, but there's, like, still people wandering around. I don't know. I was at Minecon last year, surprisingly, but I was watching it live. And what confused me is that when you watch Minecon, or when you go to Minecon, and you connect your account to the website, your Minecraft character will get a cape that has a special symbol that says that you went here.
Yes.
Like the most iconic one that everybody knows about is like the red Minecon cape. That's the first one ever.
Yeah, that had the creeper.
Yeah. This year, which is like, it's 2 days away, Minecon Live is going to be starting up soon. So, Minecraft.net, just go there, look for the links and all that stuff to tune in. I don't know if you're going to get something just by watching it, because apparently I didn't last year. But they have videos going up that are really, really cute 8-bit videos about voting for the next biome upgrades, or updates. For the desert, they're going to get the Badlands, where there's going to be a new cactus and vultures. The swamp is going to get frogs and a new tree. And the mountains are going to get snow that you can actually fall into, like you would do in real life, which is always hilarious if you throw your corgi into it. And goats. But
That's it, just goats.
Yeah. Last year it was a vote of the savannah getting ostriches and something else, I don't remember. It wasn't deep sea. There was another one. I don't remember what it was. And then there was like taiga biome, like Washington State forest trees, stuff like that. Like, it's cold, but we got pine trees. And that one won because it had foxes and berry bushes. And the berry bushes actually hurt, by the way. So be careful with that one. So this year it's going to be desert, mountain, and swamp. Those are your three choices. And they've been hyping it up this entire time.
Just screaming, "Hi!"
Technically, like, they're not shoving it in your face. Like, every day they'll post a video that shows, like, what they're hoping to do. They have a lot of co-hosts, which are, like, Minecraft YouTubers visiting. And last year they had mini games that these guys would play, and not like on the computer. I mean physical mini games, like you would see like a Japanese show or something.
Oh, one of the. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Last year, they had In the Littlewood, which is from the Yogg's cast. I has Cupquake, I believe. They had a whole bunch of YouTubers that we know and love This year they have YouTubers that we don't know. I've never heard of these people. But it is getting their face out there, which is great.
Such as... Sorry, like you say that, I mean, such as Vanhouse Gaming, because no one knows.
I don't think he would attend.
No.
Like, knowing him and his group, they would make a fake version of that in their game and just make fun of it.
Yeah,
like, have you seen Delirious's Area 51 raid videos for Minecraft? They've literally gone into a compound filled with SCPs. And he's gone.
Sorry, what'd I miss?
Did you see Aisho Delirious's Area 51 raid in Minecraft?
No, I did not.
It's literally it looks like a suburban area where it's just like a long road with like houses on the sides and a dead end. Mm-hmm. And the entire place is filled with SCPs. He found the teddy bear.
Oh.
They also found the shy guy and got obliterated by him. They found an infinite pizza. They stole the vending machine. They found the swamp lady, invisible spiders, crystal flies. If you hit one of them, they all swarm and destroy you. They found 3D glasses that let you see demons. Dinosaurs, some Terminators. There was one that's like a little jade statue that if you look at it, you have a short time before it kills you, and if you look at it after it kills your friend, it'll come after you as well. And it's just like an endless cycle.
It's an endless cycle of death.
Yeah. The last room they went into, it was like a bunch of tentacles, giant tentacles. They also found the that sphere room made of meat, where if you go in, it'll eat you and you become a piece of furniture. Yeah. I found it hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But like, Delirious found the teddy bear and took it home.
And then died?
Well, no, it didn't kill him, because like, the Minecraft version, it doesn't kill you unless like you hit it. It is a neutral mob. But yeah,
Oh, excuse me.
I unfortunately don't remember the names of the co-hosts, like the YouTuber co-hosts that are going to be at Minecon. Oh, here they are. There is going to be... Doesn't say. Why?
I just wanted to be surprised.
But there are like 4 YouTubers from like different walks of the earth and all that shit. They're going to be there. I am excited for this. I am definitely going to be tuning in on the 28th. I hope you guys too. Minecraft.net link is down below, so you guys can check out the website, see what's going on. What else is there? No, there's not really much else I can say, like, other than they released bees into Minecraft, and there is a new creature. It's bees and beehives and honey. And they are peaceful as fuck until you take their honey or until you hit them, then they swarm.
What? Sorry, I'm just giggling now about the whole bee thing.
Yeah. They're adorable. They're absolutely adorable. There's like a sausage with wings.
It's a sausage.
They're literally a sausage with wings. Other than that, it's not necessarily new, but there is that Minecraft Earth for mobile. Where it kind of does what like the Nintendo DS and like Pokemon Go does, where when you look through your phone, you will see like chests and random Minecraft creatures and biomes just appear, and you get your own little plot that you get to upgrade. You get new creatures you can actually craft or create just by adding different elements to your plot. You can destroy it, you can build it. And you go out into the world to find the resources. And it's all random. Alright. Apparently the biggest problem is wool. Lots and lots and lots of wool.
Oh boy.
It's adorable though. I've seen it. But yeah, I'm excited for Minecon. I can't wait for that to happen. I wonder what mini games they're gonna play.
Well, I'm sure when it comes out, or once it's over, we'll cover it.
Oh gods, one of the co-hosts is Japanese.
Oh, no.
He's gonna have a blast!
Alright. Well, I think that covers everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think next week we're going to be covering some Warframe stuff.
Yeah.
But,
For those of you who are curious as to why there's not been a monthly this month, schedules are hectic. Rev was gone for the week that we usually do the monthlies, which was fine. We're probably not going to be doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Mostly because, like, when we finally remember that we have to do monthlies, it's like 20 minutes to an hour before the show, and it throws us into a panic. And it's not really worth it for a while. So we're going to take a break from that. Maybe next year, who knows?
Yes. Or whenever we feel like it, I suppose.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of Left for Random Talk. This has been Rev
Nintendo
and
64 edition.
This has been Rev and HH. Stay tuned for the end, as always. And until next time, we will see you then. Goodbye.
Alright, now it's just me in the audience. I might yawn. There it goes. I yawned. Okay. I say this at the end of, like, every episode, every episode of the show. Down below in the description on YouTube, there is a link that shouldn't be there. And down below on Twitch is a creeper face that is there, but I need to remove the link that's attached to it, because I keep forgetting. Don't click on them. They do not work. I really don't have... What was that noise? I really don't have much free time anymore. It's get up, wait for every third hour to let two demonic dogs outside go to the bathroom, go to bed. That's it. Wednesdays, it's wake up, let the dogs outside, go to work, come home, let the dogs outside again, and just scream in agony. Friday is D&D. Saturday, I'm pretty much not doing anything except for, well, actually, no, I'm streaming, usually on Saturday. And Sundays, I am left alone, but by that time, the banks are closed. There's nothing I can do. And then the cycle starts all over again. For those of you who are on Twitch, we are going to go host and raid my friend Lycan Alpha. He is currently streaming Final Fantasy. I don't know for how long, but he's doing that right now. Tomorrow he will be likely streaming Final Fantasy and then D&D, which is what I'm a part of with him. We'll see what happens. For now, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys next week. I gotta wait for this countdown to go down. There will be some changes to the backgrounds. I need to get rid of this goodbye message and update my Ivara model. For now, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good night, everybody.